Hey Capricorn, thanks for joining the channel today. This is August 16th. As always, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below for my email. You can shoot me a quick note and we'll get something set up for you. And if this resonates with you, would really appreciate if you guys could like, share, subscribe, put a comment in. Absolutely love reading those. But other than that, let's just kind of dive right into the reading, Capricorn. Today we're going to be using the Alchemy deck by Kim Krans. And overall, this is really interesting reading. I'm still kind of acclimating to these cards, Capricorn, so, bear with me a little bit. Could maybe not totally resonate with me, fully, since it's a brand new deck for me. But ultimately, after looking at the cards, on the top here, we've got Uranus, Saturn, Synchronicity, Breath, the Void, Dissolution, Wise Salt, Chiron, and Androgyny. So overall, Capricorn, if you have been lately having a lot of really weird, interesting experiences, could have been things that maybe manifested to shocking things, sudden information coming about, like a lightning bolt maybe hitting you, like an aha moment, such as Uranus in the top here. I do feel strongly that there are going to be a lot you either could have experienced that recently or you're going to, moving into the end of the month and into next month in September. A lot of the signs are going to be coming up for you. Synchronicities, meaningful coincidences between numbers, people, things. You could have a dream about something and then the next day it could manifest. But if it hasn't already happened, there's going to be some interesting stuff manifesting for you in the next few weeks and into September. So keep an eye out for those things. At the same time, while this is happening in the background, either a tower moment, a lightning bolt, could have again just been some shocking information that was unexpected, or just could also be too tied to technology innovation if you're really drawn to that as well. Something's kind of maybe pulling you in a different type of direction than what you have previously been doing with your time and energy. Let that be a driver for you. The one thing I want you to definitely be aware of, though, is that there are going to be some restrictions. You're going to be either held back, you're going to have to go through maybe some karmic experiences along the way or in the next few weeks that are could get very frustrating. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, is definitely kind of situated at the top here, so it's kind of magnifying some of the lower cards, obviously, and what those energies represent. But ultimately, don't get frustrated if you feel like your progress is stalling, if there's not a lot of movement for you, or maybe you're having to redo a lot of the same things over and over and over again. Whenever I think of Saturn, I think of, Saturn always wants you to like do things the right way, following the right steps, the right process. So if there's something that you're doing relative to yourself, maybe you're trying to evolve your own consciousness with, the breath card, I'm looking at that. Maybe you're trying to find some deeper meaning in your life, and you've been really taking a step back to assess, where am I spending my time? Where am I putting my energy? And ultimately, what is potentially holding me back in life? Should I release those things? The signs are maybe kind of manifesting again, either could have been or are about to, but there's some type of transition, you're moving through that could at some point get very frustrating if you're not seeing any progress, type of thing. I would say go back. If no shortcuts, try to really focus on doing things the right way, the disciplined way, not taking shortcuts, not trying to, take two steps ahead without stopping and thinking about where you're kind of going. It's Saturn really wants you to think ultimately about what is my goal, where am I going, what am I doing with my time. Otherwise, again, if you're not following the right steps, it's definitely going to be a burden for you or hold you back to some capacity, make you start over again. So just know that energy could stall your progress, and not to get frustrated by that, to continue going on despite the fact. And ultimately, I think you're definitely letting go of things that no longer serve your best interest. If they don't have meaning in your life, you're releasing them. You're becoming more wise as to how you harness your energy and ultimately where that's allocated. You could also feel very powerful and connected at this time. Could also be, too, again, signs coming forth that are really going to either deter you onto a different path than you've been on, or just reiterate that, hey, I am on the right path. I need to continue following my heart, listening to my intuition. That's only going to continue to guide me forward in the right direction. One thing that I think that stands out, though, out of this entire spread is that there's definitely a past wound, Capricorn, that you're not over, that you're meant to heal through this experience. It is a cleansing. It's a time of renewal. You know, the Lionsgate portal that we just had was definitely a time where it's a transmutation of energies, releasing the past, trying to heal some of these old wounds that exist inside of us in order to move forward. And so Chiron's definitely standing out. I believe you're wiser because of your recent experiences, but if there's something that maybe you have not addressed within yourself that was very hurtful, either recently, in the past, could have been from childhood, Spirit's acknowledging that to definitely address that within yourself, or to at least transmute the energies in whatever way you find necessary. Could be crying, could be talking to a therapist, could just be remembering what that situation was, acknowledging that it happened, accepting it happened, and essentially trying to move forward, understanding that obviously, that was somewhat of a catalyst for your own experience ultimately. And it's a positive thing. I think we look at situations, we're not always dialed in on the positive aspects to them, especially if it could be considered negative. But a lot of times, these energies kind of come together at a certain point when the soul is just ready to evolve. So to embrace the trauma that you've had, embrace the wound, move forward, releasing it and the negative things in the past. And when you do that, Capricorn, I do feel strongly that there's going to be a sense of integration. You're going to find yourself more balanced within your own duality. So if you've been heavily leaning towards maybe the masculine energy, the feminine energy, this truly kind of represents healing to me. It represents beauty, harmony, feminine power with the spider. And also the rose could have been also to a relationship that maybe ended in the past that was quite hurtful for you, that you're still trying to get over. It's a memory frozen in time. I look at the moon too. It's nostalgia. It's the past. It's feminine energy as well. So if you're, it doesn't necessarily have to be male or female, but it's a remembrance. So I do feel strongly, Capricorn, that it looks like, based on this analysis and what I'm feeling right now and what I'm getting intuitively from the divine, is that there could have been a sudden ending that happened that was heavily restrictive to you in the past. It took some time for you to get over. You're still not over it. And maybe after that experience, it definitely left you feeling empty and void and kind of like, what meaning is there left, right, to my life without this relationship? However, that dissolution of the connection actually was probably quite beneficial for you, okay? Because it really just made you kind of go back within yourself and understand the beauty within yourself. So if somebody was really not disruptive, but like they put you down a lot, they were a narcissist, they were continuously like harming you, hurting you, or taking from, giving more, you're giving more than you're actually getting out of the matter. Whatever the case may be, something did wound you, and it's been a healing experience since then for you, which is ultimately a great thing, because you're really coming to terms and coming to peace with this matter, whatever the situation was. On the bottom of the deck, you have the conjunction card. So it's the infinity sign conjunction as well, meaning it's the, in planetary energies, kind of like move up one planet, moves up to the other one. you get a conjunction. But I also look at this as total integration of the self, balanced within their shadow self, their light aspects to their own being, and really just embracing the fullness for who they are. So if in the past, Capricorn, maybe you couldn't be who you were fully, or you were just again looked at negatively because of who you were, this is kind of you moving into a brand new energy where you're really just stepping into your own, you're accepting your own power, your own truth, your own divinity, and you're not afraid to kind of be yourself holistically, understanding that this balanced state is really going to elevate you to a new level potentially in life. I'm gonna pick a couple more. These flew out, so we're going to take these. So we have separation, the golden rose, blood, vinegar, and ash. So yeah, I definitely feel, Capricorn, that you have put an end to a relationship. You maybe once saw it as beauty and potentially your future destiny. However, this has definitely ended, okay? And you're coming to terms with that still. It did, again, cut you very deep. Um, but I think, again, in that ending, it also made you come to realize your own self worth because potentially this situation just really did not allow you to embrace your true self, which is very meaningful and beautiful. However, this situation definitely cut very deep. And a lot of, interesting themes with the roses, right? A lot of them. So just kind of interesting in that regard. I look at the golden one as a new start, a new beginning, beauty, harmony, acceptance for who you are fully, despite the fact that this kind of came about. The red one, love, having to put love to, I guess, to the past somewhat. Forgive yourself, forgive the other person, and truly heal because you are still radiant and beautiful despite the fact. Even if maybe, say, this person rejected you, it was just a tremendous loss in your life. You're now, again, just coming to terms with that moving forward. And then these other two cards, we've got vinegar and ash. So this is really just encouraging you, Capricorn, that some things have to literally do a Phoenix Rising situation where they kind of have to light themselves on fire and burn to ash before anything can be reborn again. So it's kind of like you having to not only release this into the past and understanding that, again, this is probably a karmic experience, very much so because of the Saturn card as well. But in doing that, if you can accept that this old way of being, where you did not fully accept who you are or who the other person was fully, or see the value in them, that's pretty much coming to an end where you essentially have to relinquish the old sense of self so it can be reborn again to some capacity. And in doing that, there's a true integration of the self. So it's really just a beautiful step in the right direction, understanding that I was meant to experience this, I need to move forward in my life. And now it's kind of like, how do I harmonize all these energies around me to truly embrace my powerful self, my true self, and allow beautiful things to manifest in my immediate environment? One more, Capricorn. One more. Summer. So by next summer, June, July, August, there could be, if you're working towards a goal, there could be some type of manifestation of that. So keep an eye out for that. Could also be too, in the midst of it now, we're in the summer. At some point in the next few weeks, there could be a new relationship that manifests, some type of new, some type of achievement or fulfillment that you're going to see. Maybe investments come, full circle. There's some type of fertility harvesting, abundance, wealth, prosperity, or even again, too, just feeling whole again. Maybe again, after this experience, you really felt void, where now the dichotomy of that's kind of showing up in here, which is interesting. And it's a true understanding that just because I had to go through this and this doesn't mean I have to live here. Essentially, you're kind of like transmuting all those energies and becoming whole again, despite the great loss that you experienced in the past. So that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I know it was a pretty deep reading, but as always, like, share, subscribe, put a comment in. If you'd like a personal reading too, check the description box below for my email, shoot me a note, and we'll get something set up for you. But thank you so much for joining me today. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, Capricorn.